First Nocturne. First Book of Samuel. And Saul spoke to Jonathan his son and to all his servants, that they should kill David. But Jonathan the son of Saul loved David exceedingly. And Jonathan told David, saying, Saul my father seeketh to kill thee. Wherefore look to thyself, I beseech thee, in the morning, and thou shalt abide in a secret place and shalt be hid. And I will go out and stand beside my father in the field where thou art. And I will speak of thee to my father, and whatsoever I shall see, I will tell thee. And Jonathan spoke good things of David to Saul his father, and said to him, Sin not, O king, against thy servant David, because he hath not sinned against thee, and his works are very good towards thee. And he put his life in his hand, and slew the Philistine, and the Lord wrought great salvation for all Israel. Thou sawest it and didst rejoice. Why therefore wilt thou sin against innocent blood by killing David, who is without fault? And when Saul heard this, he was appeased with the words of Jonathan, and swore, As the Lord liveth, he shall not be slain. And the war began again, and David went out and fought against the Philistines, and defeated them with a great slaughter, and they fled from his face. And the evil spirit from the Lord came upon Saul, and he sat in his house, and held a spear in his hand, and David played with his hand. And Saul endeavored to nail David to the wall with his spear. And David slipped away out of the presence of Saul, and the spear missed him, and was fastened in the wall, and David fled and escaped that night. Second Nocturne. This William was born of noble parents at Vercelli in Lombardy. He was but little over 14 years of age, when, impelled by a strange earnestness for holiness, he undertook a pilgrimage to Compostela, to the far-famed church of St. James. This journey he made clad in a single garment, wearing an iron girdle wound twofold round his body, and with bare feet. He accomplished his object under the severest hardships of cold and heat, hunger and thirst, and at the great danger of his life. After his return to Italy, he undertook a new pilgrimage, this time to the Holy Sepulchre of the Lord. But in the way of fulfilling this, there arose diverse and most grievous obstacles, whereby the hand of God drew the lad to the higher and holier life of a monk. He dwelt in the town of Monte Salicolo for 2 years, which he passed in constant prayer, watching, sleeping upon the ground, and fasting. At the end of this time, the power of God made him the mean to restore a blind man to sight. The fame of this miracle became so noised abroad that William could no longer remain unknown. His thoughts turned again towards Jerusalem, and he again entered cheerfully on the journey. He was again hindered by a vision from God, and remained among the Italians to be more useful, and to bring forth more fruit than he would have done among strangers. With extraordinary speed, he built a monastery upon the summit of Monte Vergiliano, ever since named Monte Virgin. Thither he called around him, as his comrades, devout men, and schooled them into a way of life most closely following the commands and counsels of the gospel, in great part by a rule taken from the constitutions of blessed Benedict, and supplemented by his own words, and the example of his own holy life. As other monasteries were raised, the holy life of William became more known day by day, and brought men to him from all quarters, drawn by the sweet savor of his godliness, and the fame of his miracles. At his prayers the dumb spake, the deaf heard, the withered were strengthened, and they that suffered under diverse and incurable diseases received health. He turned water into wine, and openly worked many other miracles. Among all these things it must be told that a wretched woman sought him to lure him to impurity, but he raked hot embers out upon the floor and cast himself down upon them, and wallowed among them, and escaped unhurt. When this thing came to the knowledge of Roger Primero, king of Naples, it roused in him the highest reverence for the man of God. At the last, after foretelling his own death to the king and to others, and full of good works and miracles, he fell asleep in the Lord, in the year of salvation 1142. Third Nocturne. From the Holy Gospel according to Matthew. Then Peter answered and said unto him, Behold, we have forsaken all, and followed thee. What shall we have therefore? And Jesus said unto them, Verily I say unto you, that ye which have followed me, in the regeneration when the Son of Man shall sit in the throne of his glory, ye also shall sit upon 12 tronos, judging the 12 tribes of Israel. And every one that hath forsaken houses, or brethren, or sisters, or father, or mother, or wife, or children, or lands, for my name's sake, shall receive 100-fold, and shall inherit everlasting life. Homily by the Venerable Bede, priest. In the judgment to come, the elect will be in 2 classes. One class are they who have forsaken all, and followed the Lord, and these shall judge along with him. The other class are they who have not equally forsaken all that they had, but who have been careful daily to give alms of their goods to the poor of Christ. These shall be the subjects of judgment, and these are they who shall then hear these words, Come, ye blessed of my Father, inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the world. For I was an hungered, and ye gave me meat. I was thirsty, and ye gave me drink. Of the reprobate also we gather, from the words of the Lord, that there will be two classes. One class are they who, being made partakers in the mystery of Christian faith, have neglected to show their faith by their works. These are they to whom it will be said at the judgment, Depart from me, ye cursed, into everlasting fire, prepared for the devil and his angels. For I was an hungered, and ye gave me no meat. The other class are they who either have never received the faith and mysteries of Christ, or who, having received, have apostatized, and abandoned it. And touching these it is said, But he that believeth not is condemned already, because he hath not believed in the name of the only begotten Son of God. Commemoration of the second day within the octave of the Nativity of St. John the Baptist. Sermon of St. Augustine, Bishop. The birthday of St. John, dearly beloved brethren, we celebrate today, a privilege which we read has never been granted to any other of the saints. For only the birthday of the Lord and of blessed John is celebrated and honored throughout the whole world. For a barren woman bore the latter, and a virgin conceived the former. In Elizabeth barrenness is overcome, in blessed Mary the custom of conception is changed. Elizabeth by knowing her husband gave birth to a son. Mary believed the angel and conceived. Elizabeth conceived a man, Mary conceived a man also, but Elizabeth only a man, Mary God and man. Great, therefore, is John, to whose greatness the Saviour himself bears witness, saying, There hath not risen among them that are born of women a greater than John the Baptist. He excels the others, he stands out above all. He precedes the prophets, he surpasses the patriarchs, and whoever is born of woman is inferior to John. Someone will perhaps say, If John is the greatest among those born of women, is he greater than the Saviour? Far be it. For John was born of woman, but Christ was born of a virgin. The former was poured forth from the womb of a corruptible womb, the latter was brought forth from the flower of an undefiled virgin. If therefore we understand the mystery, my brethren, John is man, Christ is God. Let man be humbled that God may be exalted, according to that which John himself said of the Lord. He must increase, but I must decrease. That man might be humbled. John was born today, from which day the days begin to decrease. That God might be exalted. Christ was born on that day when the days begin to increase. A great sacrament, dearly beloved brethren. Therefore we celebrate the birthday of John just as that of Christ, because his birth itself is full of mystery. What mystery, except that of our humility, just as the birth of Christ is full of the mystery of our exaltation?